Hey, all right, people, back again. Today I want to talk about a potential spoiler that I've heard of. I've heard a few YouTubers out there talking about this, and first of all, I'm not discrediting anybody or anybody who's reported this. I'm not, I steer clear of spoilers. I just heard this, and all I'm doing is just stating one thing. Because Glenn's dead, or not dead, because Glenn's not on set filming every day, and hasn't been basically on set since episode 1, that doesn't mean he's dead, okay? And here's why I say this. Okay, the spoiler is basically, I think that Abraham and Glenn both die, and that Daryl's taken prisoner. Now, in the comic, after Glenn dies, Maggie disappears from the story for probably 10 issues. After she moves to the hilltop, she's out of it till I think the back half of March to War is when she comes back into it. I mean, it is a while. Would probably equate to most of the season, at least through the first half. I mean, depending on how much they're going to do on the Saviors, and how much they do and what comes after, and until they get into March to War, and I don't know how long they're going to do this, but I would imagine it would be at least half the season probably before they would need Glenn back on set recording. So realistically, man, if they put March to War off and or that part of it until episode 11 or 12 or something, and then bam, there's Maggie again, and Glenn, I mean, he wouldn't even need to be on set until after the point in which season 7 airs, the premiere airs, because I think when the season airs, they should be filming like episode 11 or 12 or something like that. So just because Glenn's not on set doesn't mean he's dead. Yes, Maggie can still take over leadership of the hilltop with Glenn at her side. She only takes over leadership of the hilltop because Gregory's a douchebag. So, I mean, if he was a leader and was backing Rick, she would never take control of the hilltop or take leadership at the hilltop. So, I do believe they're going that way. And I know I originally predicted Glenn to die, just like he did in the comic, but damn it, I keep thinking, name me one person who's died the same way in both the show and the comic. I mean, I can't think of any. I can't think of a single character that has died in both the show and the comic the same way. If you got somebody, shout them out down there in the comments. But I'm having trouble remembering anyone that has died. I mean, they've used the same deaths, but not the same characters. Now, I think if Glenn lives, it could potentially cause a problem down the road when they get into where they are currently in the comic. Actually, recently, the last couple issues, something's happened between Rick, Negan, and it's going to include Maggie, and it's going to cause bad blood between Maggie and Rick, or it's going to cause Rick to act out. And what I think is, it hasn't actually been confirmed what side Negan's going to land on here, but I'm pretty sure he's going to end up helping Rick, and then it's going to end up putting Rick in a spot where he either alienates Maggie or he has to go against Negan again. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't do the comic book reviews or anything, but it's going to be interesting. And I think that if Glenn lives, my whole point is when we get to this point in the story, is Maggie still going to have the same hate for Negan that she has in the comics? Because clearly Abraham's not Glenn. And I think time does heal all. I mean, because Rick wasn't married, Negan didn't kill Rick's spouse or Rick's child. So Rick, after a couple of years, is able to see Negan's, value, I think, is basically how it's going to go down. Anyways, I'm getting more into the comic than I really wanted to. I'm going to let it go at that. This is 4 minutes already, so like it, share, and subscribe. And just remember, just because Glenn's not on set, don't mean that motherfucker's dead. Till the next video, hope you guys have a great day. Hasta la pasta. Damn, she is so hot.